ChatGPT, Gemini, and Claude will go head to head in 5 different tests to see which one is the best AI. Whichever AI scores the best will get 3 points, second best will get 2 points, and in last will get only 1 point. And for the rating test, each AI is going to be scored based on the score they get out of GPT-0, one of the most popular AI detectors. So what we're going to do is ask each AI to write an essay, and within their built-in features, which one can bypass GPT-0 the best, and that will determine which AI will be in first, second, or third. So let's ask ChatGPT that. All right, here asked it to write a quick essay, and then I also added at the end to sound as human as possible. So hopefully it will be able to work around the AI detector as much as it can. All right, so after quickly looking through, it does look like ChatGPT did put some in-text citations right here. There's one right there, another one here, another one here. So about one per paragraph, and then even added a works cited. So let's go ahead and put that into AI detector and let's see how it does. So ChatGPT got a score of 88% AI. But one thing we can do to make this score a lot better is use custom GPTs. And using this GPT, we should get a lot better score. And there we go. Now it's only 5% AI and 95% human. So if you have ChatGPT, this would be a good way to get past those AI detectors. So now let's try the same thing with Gemini. We're going to copy and paste same prompt into Gemini. After looking through Gemini's writing here, there are kind of a couple dead giveaways that this is AI. One, they use furthermore. Nobody actually says that. And there's only one in-text citation right here, and there isn't any in the other paragraphs. So it's kind of standard that you'd have an even amount of in-text citations through each paragraph. So let's go ahead and see how it does in the AI detector. All right, and then it says 97% AI, so I didn't do too well here. If we go over to Gem Manager, which is Gemini's version of custom GPTs, since Gemini is still kind of working out that feature, there is only 5 gems here. The closest thing we can maybe use is writing editor, but even that says it's more of like for grammar fixing. And even if it was a humanizer like ChatGPT's, we couldn't use it because it's not available in the free plan. Over in Claude, Claude actually has a couple cool features made just for writing. So go down here, it says choose style. So you can choose the writing style that Claude responds in. And you can even create a custom style, so you can have Claude sound like you're writing. Add your past work here, and then it'll look at your writing and then try to sound more like you. But let's go ahead and ask Claude the same prompt, and let's see how it does. And Claude does open this nice little window here. It makes things look a little bit more neat. So Claude might have actually done a little bit better than ChatGPT here. It included an in-text citation in every paragraph, even the introduction paragraph and the conclusion paragraph. So I think the writing is even better than ChatGPT. So Claude got a score of 83% AI, which is definitely better than Gemini. But this wouldn't be a passing score if you were to turn this in as an assignment. Using that custom style feature, you could definitely get that down a little bit by uploading your own work. All right, and then the next test is research. You need to write a paper, but you need to find some sources and look through a bunch of research papers. These LLMs can help you do that. So if we take advantage of custom GPTs, put in our prompt, We're trying to find a research paper about the transient heat transfer equation, and let's see what it can find. And here it gives you a nice layout, gives the title of the paper, some authors, and the overall focus of it. Now let's ask Google the same thing. This might be interesting because it does have the ability to use Google. Okay, so it looks like Gemini was not able to do it here. It told me on how to do it, but it didn't do it for me. So let's try to ask it, find the papers for me. See what it does. Yeah, it still refuses to do it. So unfortunately, Gemini just simply can't do this. But let's go over to Claude and see what it can do here. So it looks like Claude can't do this either. It's saying it does not have access to a search function or database of research papers. And now going over which AI has the best free features. You've kind of probably noticed a pattern throughout this video that ChatGPT's GPT store is a very powerful tool to use. There's many different GPTs for a lot of different tasks. So we have some for writing, some productivity research, education, lifestyle, and some programming GPTs. So if you're doing a task like that, it is going to be almost always better to use a custom GPT, just like the humanized AI that we used earlier, where this is probably trained on millions of human written essays. It gives you a really good answer. And then ChatGPT in the free plan also does give you web browsing. So if you ask it, do the Minnesota Vikings play tomorrow, it'll search the web for you. So it looks like the Vikings play the Arizona Cardinals tomorrow on December 1st. But as you can see on the bottom here, you do get access to GPT 4.0, but have a limit for it. ChatGPT doesn't give you a specific number limit, but you do get unlimited access to GPT 4.0 Mini here. Mini will be still very good at a lot of tasks. You get with ChatGPT. If you go over to your profile picture on the right here, go to settings, you get custom instructions and memory. So custom instructions, you can write how you want ChatGPT to answer your questions in the future, and then anything that would help it provide more useful answers. So say you're gluten-free, you can write, I am gluten-free. So if in the future, if you ask for any recipes, it won't include any recipes that have gluten in it. And then memory, this is kind of like custom instructions, but ChatGPT will automatically make it for you just based on things you've said before. So I've searched in here several times that I want to know about the Minnesota Vikings. So it'll put in the memory that I like the Minnesota Vikings and tailor its answers to that. Over in Gemini, Gemini's version of custom GPT is this gem manager in the bottom left. They're actively building this out. As of the time of recording this video, they only have these 5 pre-made by Google. But I would imagine they'll do what ChatGPT did and maybe open it up to the public to make something similar to an app store, a gem store. But even in the free plan, if you did like any of these, you wouldn't be able to use them. As it says down here, you'll need to get Gemini Advanced. Now, where Gemini really shines, even topping ChatGPT, Claude, any AI that I can think of, since Google makes Gemini, it's very intertwined with other Google services. So what you can do is you type the @ symbol and it pulls up a list of different Google services here. So if you use any of these Google services, it can pull information from that source. So for example, if you click the @ symbol, then go to Google Tasks. And then we can ask Gemini to remind me to buy presents on December 5th, 2024 at 9 a.m. And there you go. Now it'll automatically do that for you. If you're somebody that uses Google a lot, Google Calendar, you can add something to your calendar, task, summarize emails, Google Docs, it goes on. This could be pretty useful for you. However, one downside of Gemini is that they only let you upload images to Gemini, whereas Claude and ChatGPT will both let you upload really any type of file. And then, just like ChatGPT earlier, you can add custom instructions to help give you better answers. So, for example, you can say you're vegetarian and it won't suggest any recipes with meat. And then if you think Gemini's writing too long, you can tell it to write it in like bullet points or just tell it to write a little bit shorter. And then after putting this in, it will apply those instructions to any new chat that you do. And then over in Claude, Claude does let you upload any type of file size here. And then Claude has this really cool custom style tool. So you can create your custom style based on your own writing. That's something that you don't get with ChatGPT or Gemini. And what makes Google Gemini really stand out is they have this double check response feature right here. So if you click on it, it's going to use Google to double check the AI's work for you. So you don't have to worry as much about, AI giving you incorrect answers, or sometimes called just hallucinations. So if you click understand the results, in green, it means Google search found content that's likely similar to the statement. So here it highlighted this in green. So here it's saying this is true based on this source here. Next really cool thing you can ask these AI chatbots to do is to ask them create any image that you want. So in this case, I asked ChatGPT and Gemini to make an image of a bald eagle flying through the sky and make it as realistic as possible. So on the left is ChatGPT and on the right is Gemini. On the left, you can see the detail in the fur of the eagle is a lot better than Gemini's. And fur is definitely something that's kind of been known to be difficult for AI to pull off. And you kind of see that over in Gemini's image. So if you look closely at the fur over in Gemini's image, it definitely doesn't look very good. When asking Claude to do that, it simply just refused to do it. So you wouldn't be able to do this in the free plan of Claude. Now the next test is going to be which AI is better at data manipulation. So I grabbed this data set here about the best Halloween candy in 2017. And then I fed this data into ChatGPT. Here it recognized that data in kind of similar to a spreadsheet format. And then I asked it create a table, graph, or chart that you think would best show this data visually. And then it created this data chart here. And just from looking at the table, you can see ChatGPT understood kind of what you could get from this data set. So here on the bottom, it says, here's a scatter plot showing the relationship between sugar content and win percentage and how it might demonstrate its popularity. And that was actually one of the first suggested analysis you could do with this data set here. Which candies have the highest win percent and what do they have common? Well, ChatGPT thought maybe its sugar content would have something to do with it. And by looking at the table, that might be a correlation. It does kind of show a slight incline. You can see it definitely on the bottom here. It's kind of going up with sugar content. And then I went over to Gemini and asked the same thing. There was no way to give Gemini this spreadsheet because it only lets you upload just images, and even doing the @ symbol, it does not work with Google Sheets. And then now asking Claude, it actually did a very good job here. So here it kind of did the same thing as ChatGPT, but took it a little step further, coloring the points different colors based on if it's chocolate or not chocolate. And it's a fully interactive chart like this. You can hover over and see what that data point is about. Whereas when doing that in ChatGPT, it will only tell you X and Y coordinates. Although it looking in the top left, it does tell you what it means, but it's not nicely laid out like Claude's, where if you hover over, it just tells you what it is.